Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Jamie Dawn, your professional psychic advisor, success coach, evolutionary, revolutionary, and I am super excited to bring you this video on the last day of July. So today's July 31st, 2018. Tomorrow is a fairly big day energetically for us, astrologically. We are going to be working with a Jupiter in Scorpio squaring off Mars retrograde in Aquarius. And why this is such a big deal? Well, because we've had we're going to have three aspects this year exact when these two planets are squaring off or challenging each other. The first one was in May. So many of you mid-May probably felt the intensity that Mars can bring. And with Uranus involved, there's a lot of this erratic, sudden, unpredictable kind of feeling to it. And so here we have another one tomorrow where the square exacts itself again. And then we have another exact square in September with Uranus and Mars. And the reason that I'm particularly picking up this energy and bringing it forward for this week's video is because it sort of colors what has been happening for us with the eclipse we just had last Friday. And then it carries that energy into this week. So what does that mean? Because this is all setting us up for a pretty big, another eclipse on August 11th, which I feel is the one to really talk about. And I will on my radio show on Thursday morning, as well as in these videos. And of course, you can check out my new Dawnscopes, which will be posted this week for the month of August. And that you can find at jamiedawn.com. So, and also 12listen.com. So let me get to the crux or the meat of what's really going on this week energetically for us. And a lot of that has to do with, like I say, the squaring off of Uranus and Mars. The interesting part of this and the positive piece of this is we may find a little more courage, a little more initiative kind of energy to maybe step out of our comfort zone, maybe do or say something that we wouldn't normally do, that we just suddenly feel this push to say, I've got to say this, I've got to do this. And it's shaking up a lot of our structures. It's shaking up our attachment to these old, outdated forms that no longer resonate with us. Yes, that includes some relationships. I know that there are some relationships that have gone through a breakup or are looking at it or trying to change or transform the way that it once was. Part of that is on a esoteric vibration. Uranus is the planet of transcendence. So we're finding this awakening or this aha that is coming to us, and it often with Uranus previewing into Taurus, because it will retrograde back into Aries in November for a couple of months. But right now, Uranus in Taurus is making us look at, giving us these ahas of our physical spaces, of our values, and the things that we consider to be worthy of our truest selves. And it's also looking at our resources and the things that we are, I'll call it attachment to form, or the things that we have in a form, and we're saying, does this still work? Because remember, with Venus in Virgo right now, we're doing a lot of discrimination in our relationships, in our monetary systems, and our financial, what we're attracting to us. So when we're looking at all these different interplays, and when you have the heavy hitter of Mars being retrograde in Aquarius, it's a little erratic right now, and Uranus rules Aquarius. So I'm bringing all of these little pieces together to say we're in some very unpredictable, erratic time that is shaking us up to change some of the forms that we've attached ourselves to, or that we look around and say, this is no longer in alignment with my values. Because let's not forget, we've got Jupiter squaring off with Mercury the entire month of August. Yes, Mercury's retrograde until the 19th, but what that is Jupiter in Scorpio is inviting us into becoming more of our authentic, truest self. And when it's squaring off with Mercury retrograde in Leo, we're internalizing and maybe thinking really deeply and really intensely about what is our heart desiring. And then you look at Uranus squaring off with Mars, and it's saying, now I can communicate with this person or this entity or with myself what really is important to me, what's really most in alignment with what I need in order to feel secure in my body, in order to feel like I'm worthy and like I have a place in this world. And I'm no longer apologizing for being somebody I'm not, or trying to fix myself and fit myself in all these little boxes and forms that no longer fit. So, if I had to give you an overall theme this week, there may be quite a few shakeups. And when these shakeups happen, because we're working with a square, they may be uncomfortable. It may be that you're the one shaking it up, and it's perfectly fine for you, but the one on the receiving end, not so much. But if you hang with it, and this is the positive piece of this, because Saturn in Capricorn is trining Uranus in Taurus, and it can create some long-term stability. It can create some new structures, new forms in our life that is necessary for us as we continue to plod along to our long-term goals. As we continue to plod along in shaping us into our most authentic selves. And you're gonna look around and you're gonna see, is the business I'm in, the career I'm in, the relationship I'm in, the way that I am working with others, is it in alignment with what I know to be true for me? And then how can I turn this need or this desire or this wanting of being my most authentic self, of being, hey, I know this may be a little weird, it may be a little strange, because with Mars and Aquarius, we may be looking at some strange, unusual things. And can I own it? And can I go, look, you know, it's not weird, it's okay. Because the weird in me greets the weird in you. And guess what? I'm going to start attracting more and more people and forms and things into my life, situations into my life that are more in alignment with maybe that weird. And guess what? We're reshaping what normal is. I've said this to several of you, and thank you so much for your comments, for liking, sharing, and subscribing to this video, as well as reaching out to me so we can work one-on-one. But I've said this many times over the last couple of weeks. There is no normal. We're reshaping what our normal is. No more apologizing for what is normal. Looking around at what society dictates as being normal doesn't work for everyone. So find your normal. Create your normal. And as I continually practice, and I call it a practice, not perfection, because I'm certainly not perfect at this. I sort of fell down flat on my face over the last few days. God bless that Uranus square in Mars. But anyways, we got to pick ourselves up and we try again. And we can't do this in an unconscious way, because we have to stay aware. We have to stay awake. Uranus is the awakener. We're going to stay awake to the forms or the physical aspects or the values that we're shaping in our lives. And we can do it in a really conscious way. And with this square to Mars and Aquarius, which Mars will retrograde back into Capricorn, where it gets a lot done. So that's towards the middle to end of the month. So hang in there, because use this week and next week into really looking at all of the thinking out of the box, stepping outside of our comfort zone, doing other things. Because when Mars moves into Capricorn, where it's exalted and it loves to get things done, there's a lot of production, even if it is retrograde. It actually can be a really wonderful opportunity for us to start putting those forms out into the world, getting things done, and manifesting all of this goodness and all of this consciousness that we're talking about. I'll leave you with this final thought on this video, and that is, I'm seeing quite a bit of people going through deep pain during this time of transformation. We are halfway through Pluto in Capricorn. We're halfway through. Pluto in Capricorn is, we're like this caterpillar in the chrysalis, right? So we've been decomposing. We're still in the dissolution phase. We're still in that we don't have any structures or forms yet to our wings, to our bodies, to our thoughts, to our life. So hang in there, be gentle with yourself. So when you're feeling all these intense feelings, sometimes they're negative, stay in it. Don't run from it. Stand up in the middle of it and raise your hand and say, I'm crying out for help. And guess what? It's our job, for those of us who may feel more stable, who may feel more positive, or we have the resources we need to help each other, it's our job to link arms with this person or this group and say, I got you. How may I serve? How may I serve? So let's keep that in mind as we continue to tap into our heart space where love and compassion and kindness resides. Let's continue to be more kind and gentle to ourselves and to each other. Have a great week, everybody. I look forward to connecting with you. JamieDawn.com, 12listen.com. We'll talk soon.